Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to talk about two lenses. Now someone's requested a bit of a review basically of the Sigma 17 to 50mm 2.8 EX HSM lens. So this is my trusty 50mm lens basically. Build quality, it's fairly reasonable, although it does rattle a little bit. And we're going to be comparing it to the kit lens that we get, which is 18 to 55mm EFS 18 to 55mm. So basically these lenses are comparable with each other. So the Sigma lens has a filter thread of 77mm and the kit lens has 58mm. Now the kit lens is the version 2, so it's got IS obviously, and its aperture starts at 3.5, but when you zoom out to 55mm it goes to 5.6. The Sigma on the other hand, minimum aperture is 2.8, and that's throughout the zoom range, so even at 50mm it will still remain at 2.8. So a very solid performer in low light, and that's the Sigma lens. Coming back to the Canon, it's 18 to 55mm. It has image stabilization and autofocus and manual focus. Both of these lenses do not have manual override, so just be mindful that if you were to try and move the focus ring while it's in autofocus, you will damage the motor. So you will need to switch it to manual focus to be able to adjust the focus manually. The same is true of the Sigma. Again, when it's in autofocus, you cannot move the focus ring. Put it into manual and you are free to move it like so. Now with the Sigma, when you do adjust the focus, when moving the focus ring on the Sigma lens, the lens does not move backwards or forth. However, when you do so with the Canon, it does move in and out, unfortunately. So with the Canon lens, you don't get as much wide angle as you do with the Sigma, because that starts out at 17, while the Canon starts out at 18. Now keep in mind, the Canon lens is the version 2 that I've got here, if you're interested, and it's quite light, you know, it doesn't weigh a lot, and if you was to pair that with a small camera such as a 600D, there wouldn't be hardly any weight in your camera bag if you're interested in carrying something lightweight. The Sigma in comparison is at least 3 times the weight. It is quite a hefty piece of glass to carry about. So putting this in your camera bag, you will notice it. Right, I've taken some images, so I want to show you the examples, and then it's up to you to judge which lens you think is better for you. So let's jump onto the iMac and have a look at those images. Hello everyone, and welcome to another examples video. In this video I'm going to run through the examples I have here, and hopefully it will be helpful to you guys to understand the quality of the images you can achieve from these two lenses. So on the left we have the Sigma 17 to 50mm 2.8 lens HSM. We're running at f8 ISO 200 for both images. On the right is the kit lens, the 18mm to 55, the Canon lens. As I said, f8 ISO 200, and we're just going to zoom in so we can go through the quality of the images produced by both lenses. This is my first time using Lightroom, so I do apologise if I'm not that familiar with the software, but hopefully this will be enlightening on the quality that can be achieved. And you can achieve good results with the kit lens. Don't let anyone put you off using a kit lens because it is very good. Anyway, back to the images. Sigma on the left, Canon on the right. Let's zoom in and find out what the images look like. Right, we've moved in and to 1 to 4. One to 3. 1 to 2. 1 to 1. 2 to 1. Personally, I think the image is a little bit sharper on the Canon at 18mm. But then again, the Sigma is at 17, so it's slightly wider. So let's have a look at the next image. Okay, Sigma on the left, Canon on the right. On the left, the Sigma is at 50mm and the Canon on the right is at 55, ISO 200, F8. So let's zoom in. 1 to 4. 1 to 3. 1 to 2. 1 to 1. 2 to 1. Just so you guys know, I'm running on a 7D at the highest settings, which is probably between, I think it's 18 or 19 megapixels. So, you know, that gives you an idea of the quality. So let's zoom back out. Let's have a look at the next image. Okay, on the left this time is the Canon at 18mm, Sigma on the right at 17mm, ISO 100, f5.6. So let's zoom in and have a look at these. One to 4. 1 to 3. 1 to 2. 1 to 1. 2 to 1. For my money, the Canon on the left is slightly better in terms of resolving a sharper image, but then again, that seems to be always the case when you've got a lens that is restricted in terms of its aperture at 5.6 at the long end and 3.5 at the short end versus a 2.8 lens. It will always be the case. Right, we have the Canon on the left at 55mm and the Sigma at 50mm on the right. It's slightly brighter, but that's probably got something to do with the 2.8 aperture. ISO is 200, f-stop 5.6. So let's zoom in and have a look at these images. One to 4. 1 to 3. 1 to 2. 1 to 1. 2:1. I'll zoom back out. Right, let's have a look at another image. Our last one here. Right, we have the Sigma on the left, which is 50mm, and the Canon on the right at 55mm, ISO 200, F2.8. They both look really good images. Personally, I think the Sigma is a little bit better when it comes to looking at images that are closer to the lens. However, the Canon lens is able to focus significantly closer than the Sigma lens can. So it's up to you to really make your mind up on these images. It's possible I was slightly off with the focus on the Canon, but both images are more than acceptable. So let's zoom in. One to 4. 1 to 3. 1 to 2. 1 to 1. 2 to 1. Let's just zoom back out. So there you go. I hope this video has been a little bit helpful in showing you some examples of these two lenses side by side. I have tried to give you a fair, rough idea of how the lenses perform. Typically, it's well known that the Sigma is a little bit softer than it should be around the edges of the lens versus more comparable lenses. However, I've not noticed any major problems with the Sigma. It's my go-to lens in low light conditions, and it's what I tend to use most of the time. It's a pretty good lens. As for price, you can probably pick up the Canon for around £90. The Sigma will be between £250 and £300. Be wary of buying it from any grey import companies, and also don't purchase the Sigma lens from Amazon. They are no longer an authorised reseller of Sigma lenses, so you won't benefit from their long extended warranties that they're offering. Go onto Sigma's website to check out who is authorised in order to claim your UK 3-year warranty, or if you're in the USA, I believe it is 4 years. I think B&H do a 4-year warranty, and they're authorised by Sigma. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed these videos.